Hello besties, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. Today we are doing a January wrap-up and a February TBR because I didn't read a lot of books in January because I'm a student and life is hard and there's not a lot of time for fun reading. I read a lot of textbooks. I don't read a lot of physical books because school. But yeah, let's just get into it. The first book I read was Scarred by Emily McIntyre. I rated this book a 5 out of 5 stars because she is my queen. Anything she writes is literally so good. But yeah, she wrote Hooked and I love that book. Like literally the first book I ever tabbed and the only book I've ever tabbed, I believe. But this book is enemies to lovers, Lion King retelling, and it's a little spicy. Not as spicy as Hook, but there are some spicy scenes and they were delicious. But yeah, this is Scarred. The next book I read was Wretched by Emily McIntyre. This was also 5 out of 5 stars, enemies to lovers, Wizard of Oz vibes, dark romance. Oh, I forgot to mention, Scarred, this book right here, also a dark romance. So if you're not into dark romance, don't read it. But if you are, highly recommend. This also has royal family and political intrigue if you're into that. But yeah, Wretched. This is, like I said, Wizard of Oz vibes, enemies to lovers. This is about Evelina, who works for her dad's drug company. And she falls in love with an FBI agent who's trying to get her dad locked up and shut down everything. It was really good. I actually enjoyed this one more than Scarred. So my Emily McIntyre ranking goes Hooked, Wretched, and then Scarred. I don't know why. Scarred wasn't for me. It's more like a 4.75 stars, but editing me is lazy. And yeah. The final book I read in January was Zodiac Academy, and I gave this a 4 stars simply because the ending was so good. The ending, so good. I'm a big fantasy girly, like a lot. So the fact that this had so many fantasy elements in it literally blew my mind. Like there's Pegasus, there's vampires, there's werewolves, there's sirens, there's even more that we don't know about. There's fae, they're all fae. Did I mention vampires? But yeah, this is a story about two twins who are living normal mortal lives and then they discover they're fae and they're princesses to the throne. But there are 4 other heirs when they get to Zodiac Academy. There are 4 other heirs who are trying to get their throne. And yeah, it's Tori's and Darcy's story. It's dual point of view. There's bullying. There's a bully romance that's gonna happen. I haven't, it's not in this book, but I know it's gonna happen. And I also would like to bet that there's a teacher and professor romance that's gonna happen. At least I'm hoping, because Professor Orion, whew, that man, and Darius Acrux, those men can have my whole heart. Also Seth, it's kind of awky because it's kind of awky. If you know, you know. But if you don't know, you don't know. And you don't need to know. But Seth, I don't know. There's just so many good men, good toxic men in this book, and I'm a sucker for toxic men. So yeah, if you want to get into fantasy, read this. It's a 9-book series, but I've heard it gets better with every book and that it's heartbreaking, so read it, do the thing. And then moving on to my February TBR. Right now I'm reading A Worthy Opponent by Katie Robert. This is a Marriage of Convenience Hook and Tink retelling. Very loosely inspired by Hook and Tink. Their names are Hook and Tink, but everything else, nothing. This is a part of her Wicked Villain series. This is book 3. Yes, book 3 in her Wicked Villain series. And I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I'm about 60% through. And yeah. Marriage of Convenience, Hook and Tink, romance. It's spicy. So if you don't like spicy books, don't read anything by Katie Robert. But yeah. Okay, the next 2 books, Victoria is gonna have to figure out how to add it. But the first book is Radiant Sin by Katie Robert, which is the, let me look behind me because there's, you can't see, but my Dark Olympus series is lined up. The 4th book in the Dark Olympus series. I don't know who it's with, but I'm obsessed with the Dark Olympus series. It's so freaking good, and I'm so excited to read it. I'm getting it for my birthday, which if you don't know is February 10th. But yeah, I'm so excited to read it. The next book is, what is it called? Twisted by Emily McIntyre. That is the 4th book in the Never After series. Because if you don't know, these 2 books and Hooked are part of the Never After series. That is Aladdin and, no, Jafar and Jasmine retelling. Dark romance retelling. Very loosely on retelling. Dark romance, that's all I know. All I need to know personally. Because I didn't love Desperate Measures by Katie Robert. That was her Jafar and Jasmine retelling. Dark romance thingy. But I feel like I'm gonna like Twisted more because it's a touch her and I, you know that, if you didn't know what that meant. But, and I love that trope. I believe it's also enemies to lovers, and as you can tell, I freaking love enemies to lovers. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. The next book I want to read in February is the bind up of the 3 novellas Ali Hazelwood wrote, and I have an opinion about Ali Hazelwood. I know you're all gonna come for me and be like, she writes the same story, just slightly different characters. I don't care. I really don't care. It works for me. The dark brooding man and the short little girl, it works for me, okay? Like, I eat that up. It's so good to me. And these are 3 novellas that I bind up. This one's Under One Roof, this one's Below Zero, and then this one's Stuck With You. Let me read the back to you. Under One Roof is an environmental engineer discovers that scientists should never cohabitate when she finds herself stuck with a roommate from hell, a detestable big oil lawyer who won't leave the thermostat alone. That sounds interesting. Stuck With You, a civil engineer and her nemesis take their rivalry and love to the next level when they get stuck in a New York elevator. That one sounds less interesting. Below Zero, a NASA aerospace engineer's frozen heart melts as she lies injured and stranded at a remote Arctic research station. The only person willing to undertake the dangerous rescue mission is her longtime rival. So yeah, that's what these 3 are about. How long is this? 354 pages. So, easily attainable. And then the final book on my TBR, which I'm probably not going to get to, is Zodiac Academy, The Awakening from the heir's point of view. Because this book, she's thick. She's yay big, which isn't big. But she's thick. How many pages is this? About 500. A little over 500, maybe 520. I don't think I'm going to finish this. I don't even think I'm going to get to this, to be quite honest. But I have ambitions. And I have hopes, and I have dreams. So this is basically the book I read at Zodiac Academy, The Awakening, but told from the guy's perspective, which I'm very intrigued to know about, because I want to know what goes up in their hot minds. Like, there's no way they're not attracted to Tori, and I refuse to believe there's not a polyamorous relationship about to form between them and Tori. Like, I refuse to believe that. Refuse. But it's probably just gonna end up being Darius and Tori. None of these are spoilers. These are just my opinions and thoughts. Whether or not these are true is unknown to me. So yeah. Like I said, just a retelling of the first book in the series. But I'm interested. I want to know what goes on in their heads. I want to know their motives. And if you read the first book, like, I want to know the thought process between what happened in the end. Like, I want to know how we got to that. Like, I just want to know, basically, is the moral of the story. So yeah, those are all the books I want to read in February and my January wrap-up. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Do all the cool YouTube stuff you know how to do, such as like, comment, and subscribe. I am a growing booktube channel, and it'd mean the world to me if you help support me. I'll catch you guys in the next video. I love you all. Mwah. See you guys later.